Arsenal's treatment room. Who's out, who's back, and who might play on 10 December 2025. An in-depth look at Arsenal's injury picture, recovery timelines, and the likely options for the Club Brugge trip, accurate as of 9 December 2025. Introduction: Why the treatment room matters now. Injury news is always a headline maker for elite clubs, but for Arsenal, the fitness picture in December 2025 carries extra weight. The Gunners are juggling Premier League and Champions League commitments, have recently faced a congested schedule, and, as many outlets have pointed out, have suffered an unusually high tally of injuries across the last season and this one. That combination makes every return and every minor knock a major story for manager Mikel Arteta and the squad. This article lists who is injured, who has recovered, who's only doubtfully fit, and who is expected to be available for Arsenal's Champions League visit to Club Brugge on 10 December 2025. Where a fact is time-sensitive, I give the source and date so you can check the club's updates later if anything changes. Snapshot: Arsenal's fixture and the immediate context. Arsenal travel to Belgium to face Club Brugge in the UEFA Champions League on Wednesday, 10 December 2025. Kickoff 20:00 GMT at Jan Breidel Stadion. That match comes in the immediate aftermath of Premier League action and sits inside a packed December calendar. Having bodies available is vital for rotation and tactical balance. The headline numbers: how many players are injured, how many have recovered. Counting injuries is rarely an exact science, because clubs list different degrees of knocks, and media trackers include both short-term niggles and long-term absences. Based on Arsenal's official updates and multiple mainstream outlets reporting on the men's first-team squad as of 9 December 2025, the simplified picture is: definite outs, men's first team. At least 3 senior players are widely reported as sidelined with injuries that will keep them out for multiple weeks: Gabriel, Magalhaes, Christian Mosquera, and Kai Havertz. These appear in multiple injury roundups and club briefings. Players who have recently recovered or are back in contention: William Saliba, reported to have returned to training and to be in contention for selection for the Club Brugge trip. Some outlets list him as a major doubt until late, but Arsenal's fitness notes and multiple match previews on 9 Deck indicate he's back in training and likely to travel. Declan Rice had a calf issue after a recent match, but has given reassuring signals and is expected to be available. The women's side saw Leah Williamson return to the squad after a 4-month layoff. Those bullet points summarize the most load-bearing facts. Below, I unpacked every name, the nature of their problem, the timeline reported by the club and media, and who realistically could be picked on 10 December 2025. Detailed injury list: men's first team. Who's out and why? 1. Gabriel, Magalhaes, thigh or adductor, out. Multiple reports and the club's injury roundups list Gabriel as sidelined following a thigh or adductor problem sustained during an international break. He has been undergoing rehabilitation and is not expected back until late December or beyond, depending on the source. The consensus is that he will miss the Brugge trip and needs a few further weeks before a return. Gabriel's absence is a blow to Arsenal's centre-back depth and physical presence. 2. Christian Mosquera, ankle, out, several weeks. Christian Mosquera picked up an ankle issue in recent matches, and club sources describe it as significant enough to rule him out for multiple weeks. Some estimates and media coverage suggested up to 6 to 8 weeks at one point. Mosquera's injury compounds Arsenal's defensive headaches, particularly when paired with other absentees. Most previews for the Brugge game list him as unavailable. 3. Kai Havertz, knee rehab setback, out, delayed return. Kai Havertz's return to the squad has been interrupted by rehab setbacks. Manager comments and reports indicate that his comeback has been delayed and he remained unavailable at the time of the Club Brugge trip. Havertz's absence reduces mid-forward-forward rotation options in the short term. 4. Leandro Trossard, knock, doubtful. Leandro Trossard has been referred to as a fitness doubt in match previews. He suffered a knock and was presented as touch and go for some immediate matches. Sources differ on whether he would be fully fit for the Bruges game. The club treat him as doubtful until the final fitness tests. 5. William Saliba, knock, previously out, then returned to training. Major doubt, back in contention. Saliba's case is a tight one and emblematic of how injury news can shift quickly. He missed a short spell with a knock at the end of November and was absent for several matches. By 9 December, multiple credible previews and club notes were reporting that Saliba had returned to full training and was in contention to travel for the 10 December match. Some roundups still listed him as a major doubt because the final call would depend on training and a matchday check. Most mainstream previews treated him as likely to be available or at least on the bench. That development is a huge boost for Arteta if it holds. 6. Declan Rice, calf, limp, short-term issue, expected to be available. Rice limped off in a recent fixture with a calf complaint, and there was understandable short-term concern. However, reports following the game quoted both Rice and staff as relatively upbeat. The midfielder himself said he expected to be fine, and the club's updates suggested he was likely to be available for imminent matches after testing. This type of short-term muscular issue often resolves with 48 to 72 hours of treatment and monitoring when it is mild. Still, Arteta and medical staff would run final checks ahead of selection. Arsenal fans, welcome back to the channel. Today, we break down every crucial injury update affecting Mikel Arteta's squad right now, the returning stars, the worrying knocks, the hidden fitness stories, and what it all means for the next Premier League matches. If you love daily Arsenal news, make sure to hit subscribe because this is your full new Arsenal injury update. Let's get into the biggest headlines. Declan Rice status update. Latest fitness. Tightness reported, but player insists he is available. Training footage breakdown. Arteta's quotes on safeguarding minutes. Tactical impact with and without Rice. Why his dual stats plus aerial dominance matter to Arsenal's structure. What medical staff are prioritizing. Gabriel Martinelli, minor knock. What happened? Arteta's concerns. Martinelli's importance in transitions. What replaces him tactically if he's rested? Fan reaction and what to expect for next match. Bukayo Saka, load management. Ongoing micro-injury management. Why Arteta is adapting how he uses Saka. Sprint data analysis. Why protecting Saka is now a strategic priority. Impact on right-side combinations with Odegaard and White. Jurriën Timber, recovery progress. Where he is medically. Coaching staff optimism. What ahead of schedule really means. Timber's role as hybrid inverted fullback. When fans can expect minutes. Thomas Partey, long-term assessment. Why setbacks keep happening. How Arteta views him in long-term planning. What the club's medical team changed in his program. Replacement profiles Arsenal are scouting. Long-term consequences for midfield. Takira Tomiyasu, muscle tightness. Why club is cautious. Tomiyasu's workload across international football. His impact when starting versus coming from the bench. Expected return timeline. How Ben White and Kiwior cover his role. New injury concerns in training. Minor knocks reported by insiders. Short-term fitness issues. Why Arsenal's schedule increases injury risk. Key players the staff are monitoring daily. How these micro-injuries affect Arteta's rotation. The big boosts. Who is returning? The players fully reintegrated. Training sharpness analysis. Why Arteta believes the squad looks stronger than last month. How returning stars impact the next 5 fixtures. How Arsenal will rotate with a deeper bench. Arteta's medical strategy explained. Explanation of soft tissue injury management. Why Arsenal uses a conservative return protocol. What's new in data-driven fatigue monitoring. How GPS trackers influence starting 11s. Why fans should expect more rotation in 2025. Tactical impact of injuries. How injuries change pressing patterns. Impact on build-up structure. Difference between Zinchenko versus Tomiyasu fits. Where Arsenal lose and gain depending on who is messing. Fan questions and reaction segment. Answering big discussions. Why so many injuries again?
Should Arsenal sign a midfielder in January? Who replaces Saka if he's rested? Highlighting fan comments. Quick tactical board explanations. Match readiness rating. Assigning a fitness readiness score for Rice, Martinelli, Saka, Timber, Tomiyasu, Partey, explanation of probabilities they start or are benched. Wrap-up of how many available senior players Arsenal have this week. Arsenal fans, that's your full news injury breakdown. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash the like button and leave your thoughts below. Which returning star will make the biggest impact? Subscribe for daily Arsenal news, predictions, lineups, and tactical videos. See you in the next one.